Hi everyone, it's Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and I'm coming to you today with a couple of little gift boxes. So when some of my teammates and I were on stage in Jacksonville earlier in the month, we had run into a couple ladies in our hotel, and one of them had made this cute slider box. So it's a little box like this, and if you open it up, come here. If you open it up, you can put your treats inside, okay? So it's not, one of your normal lift the flat boxes, or you don't have to destroy it to get the goodies out. So you can get 4 Ghirardelli chocolates in there. I made this box 2 ways. I made it this way, and then I made it this way. All right, so we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna show you how to make them both, but each box will hold 4 of the chocolates. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use the Kindest Gnome set. We're going to use some garden green cardstock, and we're going to use the Candy Cane Wishes DSP. And some of our ribbon. We're also going to use the retired detail tag punch. I love this punch. Any tag punch will work. If you want to use dies on the top, whatever, that's fine, but that's what I made for the top. You can string your ribbon through, or you can just put a bow on it like I did. So when I am tasked with figuring something out, I have all my templates, and I usually use retired cardstock for that. I don't know if you can see all the score lines on this, where I kept playing and playing and playing. But I have my template, and I have, many others in the trash can underneath me. But I also have my working template, and that's how I take all my notes. I don't write anything down. There won't be a PDF. You just need to pause the video to be able to remake these and start again. So anyhow, we're going to be making this tall thin one first, okay? And what I did is I cut 2 pieces of garden green. One piece is 2 by 11. That's this piece. Okay, this is the one we're going to punch on both sides, but we're not going to do that until we score it. The other piece is 7 1/4 by 4. Okay, and that's this one. So let's go ahead and let's get our scoreboard out. I think it's easier if you use your scoreboard than your paper trimmer, just because of some of the scoring lengths, but that could also be because I'm more accurate with the scoreboard than a paper trimmer. Okay, so this is supposed to be 2 by 11. This is still 12 inches. So let me go ahead and cut 1 inch off of this. I did use 12 by 12 cardstock, simply because if you look where we sell our colored paper, we do sell packs of assorted 12 by 12 cardstock, and I like to use the 12 by 12s. All right, so this is now 2 by 11. All right. So the first score we're going to make is at 1 3/8. That's 1 2 3, 1 3/8, 2 1/8, 4 3/4, 6 1/4. Now your Simply Score tool has 1/8 and quarters, which is nice. 8 7/8. Okay, 9 5/8. 1 2 3 4 5. All right, and that's how we're going to make the outside of this box. So we've got that. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fold all my score lines, and I'll burnish them in a second. While I have this out, I'm going to score my other piece. So this one is directional, so this one you need to pay attention to when you're cutting the bottom. So I'm going to hold mine this direction. We're going to score at 2 inches, at 3 1/2 inches, at 5 1/2 inches, and again at 7 inches. So this is the part where you need to pay attention, because you need to know where your flap is going to be. All right, then we're going to rotate it. Ready? I'm going to rotate. So again, I have my thin part down here. Wait, you can't see that. I apologize. I have my thin part down here. Okay, so we're going to rotate it. All right, and we're going to score at 2.5. There we go. Okay, so that's all the scoring that we're going to need to do. I'm going to go ahead and put this back down here. I'm going to grab my scissors. Okay, I always keep a template close by so I don't mess up. We're going to go ahead now and cut on our score lines. We want to free them and we want to make our tabs. So there's tab number 1. I'm going to cut on this line, and this line for this box. Now, when I say cut on the line, I tend to cut out my score lines. So I will cut on each side of the score line and just pick this piece off. And that way I know that I don't know if you guys have this problem sometimes where when you fold paper over, you get this if you cut on the inside of the line one way and on the outside of the line the other way, you get like this little, I'm going to call it a little bumper of paper that just leaves you an uneven crease when you fold it. This way, I just cut out the score lines. Okay, and I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead now and I am going to move these aside and I'm going to burnish all of my score marks so that my paper moves easier, forwards and backwards. There we go. All right, so this one will be ready for us to put together. Now let me go ahead. This is our outside wrapper. And the appeal for my friends and I with this box was that we didn't have to worry about, like I said, somebody destroying it to get their goodies out, and it can be reused. So, and it's quick enough to make. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and take my piece. I'm going to slide it into my punch. And there's one tab. Here is the other tab. You can do it either facing you or not facing you. It does not matter. Go ahead and get this out of the way. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to burnish all of these score marks before we put this together. And this is just one of my Quirker videos. I like to do favors and stuff for the holidays, and so I usually try to make at least one video a year of just a favors. So anyhow, that's how this one's going to go together. All right, so I'm going to get my tear and tape, and I'm going to put right here on my top tab. And again, you can string your ribbon through, string twine through, or just put a piece of ribbon on. It's up to you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I line up my holes and I line up my scallops, and I just attach the top part of this together, just like that. Okay, so there's our wrapper. We will decorate that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and put our box together. All right, I'm going to use my tear and tape again. You will notice your tear and tape is a little wide, and that's okay. I'm going to put it on my flap. Use my thumb to rip that off. Okay, I'm going to pull my backing piece off. And then I'm going to go ahead and just fold it on itself. So we don't want anything sticking in the middle. Okay. If you lay your box down, your box flap down, and your other box flap down, when you adhere them, you get it lined up right every single time. I'm just going to burnish that. All right. So let's go ahead and put our box bottom together. I'm going to figure out where. Okay, so here's my flap. So that means this is the back of my box. All right, I'm just going to use some liquid glue. I'm kind of messy with it, not gonna lie. Oh, I'm going to put some liquid glue there, some liquid glue there, some liquid glue here. All right, and then I'm going to fold this flap down, and it's facing the back of our box. All right, the inside is big enough for my fingers. I keep a nail polish bottle on my table for stuff like this, and I can just glue down the whole bottom of that box. All right, so now this one is essentially done. For decorating it, I cut 2 pieces of DSP, 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. All right, you can use your liquid glue, you can use your seal, you can use whatever glue you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a piece on there and a piece on the back. Oh, come here. Sometimes it gets stuck. You just have to wind it just a bit. Okay, this one here. All right, and then it is ready for you to finish and put your gnome on. So I have my gnomes already stamped and colored and cut, and I used real red because that's what's in the paper, and I used Pool Party, and I used a little bit of gray. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pop my gnome up. So this is more of a show you how to put the box together than show you how to stamp and color and cut your decoration. Okay, so there's my little gnome. I would stamp warm wishes on the little piece here, and then go ahead and attach that, and then make a bow. Now to make the bow, I use the real red and garden green ribbon. This is not retiring, this is carrying over, thank goodness, because I use these colors all the time. And I just made myself a nice little bow for that box. All right, so that's box number 1. That is the tall, thin one. All right, so now we're going to make the shorter one. So the tall, thin one, the Ghirardelli squares, you can stack up your Reese's peanut butter cups. You can do Hershey's miniatures. What else can we get in here? The little Kit Kat fun size bars are perfect for this one. For this one, we can do those Ghirardelli squares. We can do the Ferrero Rocher balls. We can do the Lindt chocolates that are in the balls. You can get 3 or 4 in there. So it's a substantial favor. I think these would make really nice wedding table favors. But I'm on Christmas now. All right, so these are my templates for this one. Let me move this one aside. Let me get my templates for this one. All right. So again, I used retired cardstock. I keep it. I use it because it's the right weight. And then this way, you know, I know that all my measurements are going to be correct. All right. So again, we're starting with a piece that is 2 by 11, and I'm pretty sure that if I didn't cut the other one, I didn't cut this one. So nope. Let's take an inch off of this one. Okay. And let me get my scoreboard. All right, so I'm going to put this one up here. Same thing. Okay, so our piece is 2 by 11. We're going to score at 2.5. Sorry, 1.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 9.5. Okay, so again, same thing with our wrapper. Remove that, and let me get our box base. Okay, so again, I'm going to use my template, and I keep a hanging folder of all my templates. All right, so we are going to, this piece is cut 3 3/4 by 8.5. We are going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8 because this is a square box. We're going to turn it Okay, and we're going to score at 2 inches. Now, again, what you need to be careful of is you want to cut, okay, the 2-inch side bottom. Oh, so did I mess that up? I most certainly did. I'm sorry, you're going to score at 1 3/4. My fault if I have it facing this way, but that's okay because that's all going to go underneath. So I'm not really worried about it. So you're going to score at 1 3/4 because your 2-inch side is your bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and move that aside. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the end flap first. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out the score line on this 2-inch side. So your box is 1 3/4 inches high. All right. And again, I don't stress too much. This is the bottom. So to have the extra score line on the bottom is not going to be a big deal. If it really bothers you, put a piece of designer series paper over it, cover it. But I wouldn't not use this one. Oops. All right, here we go. So let me take out the score line. Alrighty. All right, so same thing. Let's go ahead and we'll put the box together first since it's sitting in front of me. December 1st, 2022 starts Stampin' Up's clearance rack. All kinds of deals and specials. So if you want to visit my page, if you don't have a demonstrator, randycollins.stampinup.net. I'll be happy to help you. If you like more than just a couple things and you're interested in possibly becoming a demonstrator, please contact me as well. I'll be happy to help you there too. Okay, so I did the same thing. I folded the box over and attached it. This is now the back. Okay, so as I fold my sides over, I'm just going to go ahead, and again, I'm going to be messy with the glue. I'm just sticking it on there. This is my back, so that's the last piece I'm going to fold in. And because I'm working fast, there we go. Put my nail polish in there. Smoosh that around just a little bit. And there is my box bottom. We will move that to the side for a moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and slide this into my punch. Slide this side into my punch. All right, so again, let's go ahead and burnish all of these score lines. And if you want to cover more than just the front of the back, you know, for your treat holder, go for it. I just covered the front and the back for this one. All right, I'm going to get my tear and tape again, and I'm going to put 2 pieces right inside here. 1 and 2. And we are going to call this the sliding treat box. That is what we're going to call it. So that's what I'll name it if you want to look up the video again another time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this up and attach it, and boom, that box is done. And it just slides right in. So again, let's get, oh, I didn't cut DSP for this one. Okay, well, that's fine. I did color gnome for it, but that's okay. So there you go. That is how I made these treat boxes. Again, nice and quick. In 20 minutes, we just sat here and we made 2 boxes. So in another video, I have the stamping and coloring of the gnomes. But again, I just wanted to do the treat boxes in this one because this will work whether you use Stampin' Up! Or you don't use Stampin' Up! These are just perfect little treat boxes. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you need anything Stampin' Up! Related, again, I'm randycollins.stampinup.net. If you have any questions and you'd like to email me, you can email me at randycollins.247@gmail.com. Have a great holiday if I don't see you guys in person, because I do some in-person classes. But otherwise, have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you at the beginning of the new year. Bye-bye.